Hello and welcome to Batteries, Models and Transport. Right, we're having a look at the Faller B179 footbridge, and in particular in reply to the comments by Eric, Railway 187, and Christake 74 on the first video of this series, and their concerns that the structure is not very solid, which concerns I share, absolutely. Because let's have a look at this thing. So the ramps are extremely solid. So here's the railings, okay. I've already cut the railings now, and I'm going to explain some differences on these railings. And there you go, there you can see the inherent weakness. So I'm just going to put this down. I need two hands to see what I'm doing, to show you. So this is our footbridge. I'm going further back, try and not knock other things on the floor. Okay, perfect. There we go. So this is a footbridge. I'm getting a pointer, pencil. So this is very solid. The other ramp is also very solid, really very solid. I'm going to turn it around and show you. But we have one big problem, that this, so I have to glue this together, and the only gluing point is by sliding the step, this last step, under the ramp, and that's it. So this point here is the only point, only anchoring point between the actual bridge, the span, the bridge, and the ramps. So definitely, then theoretically, these railings should, once they're glued in place, should also make it more solid. But there we go, it fell. How solid can these be? That's a good question. Because let's have a look underneath now. I'll just take this one off and show you with this one here. Right. I'm sort of staying like this, that way you can see what I'm showing you. So here's, we're anchored in. Let's say that we've glued it in. I'm turning this around now. So I'm catching this like this. Like that, there. So this is all there is that is going to hold this together once it's glued, you see. So I'm not saying that by putting plenty of Tamiya cement it'll melt the plastic together. Maybe by melting the plastic together, so I'll really give it an abundant lashing of glue. It'll melt the plastic and create a very solid bond, which is exactly what it did over here, because you can see that here practically you glue, this is glued underneath, you saw in the previous video, and this has now created a bond, an unbreakable bond. It's really melted the plastic together, no? But yes, I have to admit that this is quite a touch and go interlocking system. So yes, in answering both Railway 187, Eric, and Christake, 74, maybe once I've got this thing here assembled completely, with the railings and everything else, I could put under here from the pylon, so from in there, across under the ramp, I could simply use some wire, just some metal wire, normal wire like the stuff I use for the gutters. Wait a minute. There we go. You saw the problem. It came off in my hand. I could use either some normal wire under here. So this is the wire I usually use, this stuff, right? But, and wait a minute, where were we? And gluing it on with glue and glaze, that will make a very good bond between the wire and the plastic, and it wouldn't be very visible. That would be one option. The wire could camouflage well under here, under the pylon. That would also be a good solution. Or else some strips of aluminium from a tea light, but the aluminium is more flimsy. So definitely I think the wire is going to be our solution. In fact, we could actually do like this. Look, you see that there's a, I'm holding it together with my hand and I'm trying to use a pencil as a pointer. There's a space right there. There's a space in there. I could insert my wire in there, and then the wire could run along in there and run along here under the steps, and that would really anchor it around and make it very solid. So this might be the solution, because this is definitely a weak point, and I don't think the glue will be solid enough to hold it together. So what am I going to do now? You've seen in a previous video that I assembled the ramps. Now I'm actually before fitting this, the bridge across, I'm going to fit all the railings. And the railings, there are these ones. This is the upper half of the ramp. I don't know if you can see. Maybe if I go back over here again, hold on. Apologise for the not great camera work. You can see that this here, the banister comes down, and here there are it sort of prolongs here, because this is the point which will then join up on the following ramp down, you see. There's a sort of landing here, so this goes here. I'm just holding it here with my finger, and there are no sockets, no pins. This just sits here like this. You just glue it in, put it on with a ton of Tamiya cement. That's one, and that's two. Okay, you got the idea. So this is the base. When we get up to the top, in fact the instructions show us the instructions tell us to fit the banister, the railings, and then here we cut the part off, and then it goes up here like that to fill in the space. So it's not that these railings are particularly solid, not at all. I mean, it's pretty flimsy plastic, it's nothing special. But we also know that plastic, once it's all glued together, it gets solid. It's solid, but I don't know how solid. And there's no real, so definitely yes, it'll need a, considering it's not a permanent fixture on the layout, this is going to need some reinforcing. So I think that maybe the wire, galvanized steel wire might do the job. But first of all, I'm going to fit, so next step in the assembly is fit all the railings, everything, to the two ramps. There we go. So we get them assembled, because doing it with this thing here wobbling around would end up the whole thing falling to bits. Then glue the actual bridge, footbridge, in place, let it set very well. Then once everything is set, I finish putting the last pieces of railings, and it's all one part. I go underneath and I put the wire with glue and glaze, and that way it's solid and the wire will hold it all together. I think this might be the solution. Anyway, I'm going to begin now. I'll think I'll do it off camera because I don't think it's so exciting, or I might do maybe one on camera just to have a look and see how much potential swearing there is if you ever have to assemble this thing here. I'll begin putting these railings on, and I'll begin from this one here that's straight, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for your comments. In particular, as a shout out to Railway 187, Eric, and to Kristake 74. Very useful comment, very constructive. Thanks for your help. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell, and comment, because as we see, comments are very useful. So I'm going to do a couple of things, and I'm going to go to my bed because I am recording this on the very early hours of the 17th of May, and I'm supposed to be going later today to see some very interesting railway event, so which you'll probably see before I publish this video. So thank you very much, cheerio, and see you next time. Or on the other hand, I might publish this video. I don't really know. Let's see. Ciao ciao.